How is everyone doing? I hope all my viewers and listeners are doing great. Today I'm here with a story about betrayal, and I hope you all will enjoy it. Please take a few moments from your valuable time to listen to this story. If you like it, don't forget to leave a comment and subscribe to the channel. So let's begin the story. Imagine walking into your home excited to surprise the love of your life, only to find a betrayal that shatters everything you thought was real. What would you do if the person you trusted most unapologetically ripped apart your future? This is my story. Eva and I had been together for 3 years. To everyone around us, we were the perfect couple. My friends would often comment on how lucky we were to have found each other, and for a long time I believed them. She was beautiful, smart, and had a fire in her personality that held me captive. We talked about marriage countless times, about how we would spend our lives together, raise our children, and grow old side by side. I thought I had found my forever, but life has a way of throwing you curveballs when you least expect them. It was a Friday night. I had finished work early, wanting to surprise her. I picked up her favorite sushi and a bottle of her favorite wine. We had both been busy lately, and I thought a cozy night in would be the perfect way to reconnect. As I entered the entryway of the apartment we shared, I noticed her car was parked outside, but something felt off in the living room. The lights were off and the apartment was unusually quiet. I walked in swinging the food and wine in my hands and called Eva. "I'm home." No answer. I put the bags on the kitchen counter and noticed her shoes by the door, the ones she usually wore when she went out. Her purse was on the couch. She was definitely home. Then I heard a muffled laugh coming from the bedroom. My stomach tightened. I approached the door slowly, each step heavier than the last. The laughter sounded again, followed by a voice. A man's voice. My heart began to pound loudly in my chest. I opened the door just enough to see through the crack. There she was in our bed with another man. I froze. My mind was racing, trying to make sense of what I was seeing. My first instinct was to storm in, to scream, to demand answers, but instead I took a step back, closed the door quietly, and went to the living room. I sat on the couch staring at the wall, trying to process what had just happened. A few minutes later, I heard her voice behind me. "Oh, you're home." He turned to see her standing there wrapped in a robe, her hair disheveled. She didn't look guilty. She didn't look ashamed. She looked annoying. "We need to talk," I said, keeping my voice steady despite the storm raging inside me. She crossed her arms and leaned against the doorway, her expression defiant. "About what?" I gestured toward the bedroom. "About what I just saw." She rolled her eyes and let out a dramatic sigh. As if I were the one being unreasonable. "Look," she said, "it's my body. I can sleep with whoever I want until we're married. I'm still free." Her words hit me like a punch to the gut. I stared at her, waiting for her to take it back, to show some sign of regret, to say she didn't mean it, but she just stood there, unapologetic, almost smug. "Are you serious?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper's. She said, her tone sharp, "You're overreacting. We're not married yet, so it's not like I owe you anything. This is my life, and I'll live it how I want." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. This was the woman I thought I'd spend the rest of my life with, the woman I'd plan to marry, and here she was standing in front of me defending her betrayal. "Like it was nothing. You've been pushing me to marry you," I said, my voice calm, but cold. "But how can I marry someone who cheats on me?" She shrugged. "Marriage changes everything. This wouldn't happen if we were married." Her L was so twisted it left me speechless. Did she really think a ring and a piece of paper would magically fix the fact that she had no respect for me, for our relationship? I stood up, grabbed my keys, and looked her in the eye. "I can't do this, Ava. I deserve better." Her eyes widened as if she hadn't expected me to actually leave. "Wait," she said, her tone softening for the first time. "You're really going to throw this all away over one mistake?" "One mistake?" I repeated, shaking my head. "This wasn't a mistake. A mistake is something you regret. You don't regret this. You've made that clear." She didn't respond. She just stood there watching as I walked out the door. As I drove away, a strange sense of calm washed over me. Yes, I was heartbroken. Yes, I was angry, but more than anything I felt free. Free from the lies, the manipulation, the disrespect. I didn't go back. I left the apartment to her, blocked her number, and started over. It wasn't easy. For weeks I wrestled with my emotions, questioning if I'd done the right thing, but deep down I knew I had. Months later, I heard through mutual friends that she was still waiting for me to come to my senses. She thought I caved, that I'd come crawling back. She didn't understand that by walking away I'd found my strength. Walking away wasn't just about leaving her, it was about choosing myself, and I'd do it again in a heartbeat. As I drove away, leaving the wreckage of our relationship behind, I realized something life-changing. Walking away wasn't just an act of courage, it was an act of self-love. Eva may have expected me to return, but I discovered something far more valuable: my worth. If you've ever faced a betrayal like this, remember, the hardest choices often lead to the greatest freedom.